Hi guys, how are you on this beautiful, it's Monday night, but I'm not going to post this video till Wednesday. My dog's trying to be a pain in the butt right now. So I told you all I started them classes. Tonight was my first one, which the reason why I take these classes is just to reassure me and to be with like-minded people who are curious about spiritualism or spirit guides or mediumships, psychic ability, all that good stuff. Um, so, the one thing I do want to say to all of you, some of you go through life just thinking that, how do I want to say this? Thinking that there's nothing more and nothing less. This is just what it is. And you need to know that it's not. There's so much more to our lives that we're living. And there's a team behind us on the other side, or the spiritual realm, heaven, whatever you want to call it, that walk beside us and help us through life. They don't interfere, so to speak, but they do help to guide us in the right direction, or they give us them intuition feelings. And they're called our spirit guides. And you do have like a master guide. I call it the mother guide or whatever. That is the one that's been with you throughout any lifetime you've ever lived. If you've lived more than one life, they've been with you since your birth, your death in past lives, and they continue to stay with you throughout eternity, or however many times you come back if you do. And then you also have other guides that come in at different times in your life to help you through whatever lessons you're learning. And then you also have family guides that maybe are people that passed away before you were born, or people that have passed away since you've been alive, and they become part of your team. And so many people are like, well, who's my spirit guide? What's my spirit guide's name? Blah, 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 blah. What I want you to know is what's important is it's not important to know their name. It's just important to know that they're there. And you can talk to them just like you do your loved ones who are in heaven. You can ask for guidance or show me signs. You can do the same thing you do with your spirit loved ones on the other side. But what I want you to know is every person has spirit guides. Everybody here does in some form. And some might only have one, and some might have many. I remember a long time ago, me and one of my friends went to a spiritual place to have readings done. And we got to pick who we wanted to read us off a board, not knowing who these people were, what have you. And I picked this man, and the woman at the desk when we signed in said, "That's a smart choice. You must be intuitive," which I didn't understand why at the time. So when I get over to this man, they show me who he is, and my appointment was, he calls my name. I go over there and sit down with them, and I just asked him about my guides because I was curious. And he starts saying, oh my gosh, like it was overwhelming to him. He was like, I'm counting 21 at this time. And he says, I would stop this reading right now if this elderly woman who lived on the spiritual camp or whatever lived there was still alive. I would take you over to her house and let her talk to you, because she is only the other person, or maybe there was two other people he said that he had seen that many guides with. So that might be something that has helped me with my gift, maybe because I do have so many spiritual guides or presence around me. I'm not sure. But, and then I come to find out that he was a reverend of a church, like of a real church, and his congregation didn't know he had a gift. And he hadn't come out and told them about that gift because of everything that we had always been taught growing up in religion, right? So he was afraid to come forth as their preacher and let them know he has a gift, and it was called mediumship. So it's not just people, it's people from all walks of life who carry an ability or a gift, which we all have it. It's just some people are more in tune to it. And as the years go by, as the years have gone by in my life, I realized that I had something, and it was time to share it with the world, because I've been drawn to this so many times throughout my lifetime. And I didn't want people to think I was crazy. I didn't want people to think something was wrong with me. Hang on. So I didn't want people to think there was something wrong with me. And so I kept kind of bogging it down instead of like feeding into it, or not feeding into it, what should I say? Letting it flow, I guess, so to speak. Instead, I kind of like, oh no, I don't want to know this. I don't want to know this. I don't want to deal with this. People are going to think I'm crazy. But I knew that there was always somebody around me, spiritually, whether it was a family member or a guide or whatever, telling me certain things. And in some religions, they're going to say that was demons, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Bullshit. Anyways, it's not. Because nothing has ever been bad. Everything that I have been taught or have learned from my guides or my loved ones on the other side has all been things that help people heal or give them hope or restore their faith or teach them about compassion or understanding or love. It's all been the good things. So I'm sorry to tell those who are non-believers or those who are skeptics that it's not a bad thing. I mean, shit. We know what we've read in the Bible about Jesus doing things like that, and what some other people in the Bible did things like that. So, I mean, if you're going to doubt someone with an ability or gift, then you need to doubt the whole book that you just read and believe in. But anyways, just know that no matter what you're going through in life, you have a spiritual team on the other side that's there that you can talk to and ask for guidance and send me a sign and blah, blah, blah. Because they're the ones that are here to help you with like your contract in life. And I know people don't believe in some of this stuff, and that's okay. You don't have to. But from my own experiences is why I talk about these things. What I have witnessed, what I have, the things I have done when it comes to certain cases, missing persons or murder cases, I have chimed in and channeled and done things like that to come up with information. And you can ask a couple of my friends who are very close to me what's unfolding in front of us right now with a case that was from like 2017 is everything that I was saying 3 or 4 years ago or whatever about the people involved or in particular persons even has come to light now. So this ain't some kind of bogus bullshit that I'm trying to feed anybody. It's things that have actually happened and are now coming forward now that one of the perpetrators has been caught. But the things I seen back then and the things that I wrote down that might not have made sense to me back then is coming to light now, and it's making sense now. That I go back and I look at some of my notes, or I go back and remember, well, I remember saying this way back in like 2018 or whatever, 19, so just so you know that it's not cockamamie crap. It's not. And just because I'm not focusing on readings right now is not that it's because I'm trying to diss anybody or turn anybody away. I have my own things I have to deal with, and in the process of that, I've got to work on myself and keep my energy high to do any sort of reading. And it's not like I'm trying to turn people away or anything like that. I'm not. I need to really work on myself too. I want to help everyone in some way or shape or form. It's just that it's not always possible to help so many people in a short amount of time. But I just want to come on here. I don't know what you want to call this. I don't know even what the hell TED Talk means, but someone says you need to do a TED Talk podcast or something about different things about spiritual stuff. I'm like, well, I can't talk all day about myself, for God's sakes. That just wouldn't even be right. But yeah, I've thought about it. Believe me, I've had opportunities to do a podcast. I've had opportunity to do a spirit TV show with a group of, it's just dedicated to a spiritual channel, actually, where I do 30 minutes or something like that of time and do readings live or whatever. But I just haven't jumped into that yet because I want to be secure and I want to be where I need to be before I even try anything out of my realm. Because yeah, I might sit and talk to you when I see you around town or whatever, but it's a whole different meaning when you've got hundreds of people watching on a TV thing or during a podcast or what have you. But don't think it's not crossed my mind. I've wanted to do those kind of things, but until I am, I guess, not so busy, I can't do any of those things right at this moment. I've got too much on my plate, so to speak, and until some of that stuff kind of slows down or backs off a little bit, I have to focus on what is right in front of me right now. So that's where I'm at in life. But before I go, I just want to say, believe, and always believe in yourself. I love you guys so much, and thank you for always following me and trusting me and believing in me, even though some of my shit sounds so far-fetched. It's not. It is just part of my life, and I cannot help the things that are happening, and I cannot help the things that I see, and I cannot help the things that I've experienced. I'm just speaking from my heart because I feel like more people out there need to know that this is all possible. It's all possible. You just have to believe. All right. Night, y'all.